Hey everybody, I am back. I'm going to do the highlighter test on Bible paper. I got my She Reads Truth Bible to test it on just so that you can see, since Bible paper typically is pretty thin. And I'm going to test out these highlighters. I've already done a full swatch test of these, so I'm just going to kind of zoom you through showing you whether or not these bleed through. Okay, so I decided to do a voiceover for this part just because I had my daughter with me. You see me here kind of working through the colors. I'm just taking it 5 at a time, so I'm starting with the bottom left row. And you will see me here in a little bit kind of getting confused about, once I finish this set of colors, trying to put them back into the box and then continue on getting the next row. But I found that was actually really confusing because a lot of them just try to like come out and mix around once you start moving that many out. So you'll see me remove that bottom left row completely and just kind of emptying the box entirely. But I am showing you here after every 5 that I've done, there's a couple words I've done with each color, and you can see here these light colors don't bleed through at all. And then I'm moving into that darker set, and here's where you'll see that I'm kind of struggling a little bit to like get the colors properly out of the box. So what I ended up doing was removing the ones that I had tried to like re-put back in there just to make it easier on myself. And then what you're going to see me do here is just highlight that next line with this set of colors, and then I'll show you also the back side of the paper to show you that it didn't really bleed through. I really love the mix of colors that they have in here. They have a lot of really nice earthy tones, some really vibrant shades. Having this like nice mix of like these more muted earthy tones and these really vibrant shades is really nice, because you may find that you want to use them for different things. Like, I personally find that I like to highlight my Bible most of the time with like these more vibrant shades on the scripture. And then for me personally, I like to use more of like these muted earthy tones for things that I'm drawing in my Bible. So like if I wanted to draw an oak tree or an olive tree or palm tree or something, I like having a mix of like muted greens, earthy browns, oranges, things that are going to look close to the object that I'm drawing. And obviously you don't have to do it like that. That's just my preference. But having the option here, this mix of colors does have quite a variety. I've also found that the markers are really good quality. Like I said, they're very pigmented, but not overtly so. So you're not really seeing a lot of saturation go through the page and shown on the other side. There's not a lot of bleed through. You obviously, with the darker colors, are going to see a bit more of it, and I'll show you that here in just a moment when I flip this page over. This is that salmon pink color, and it is so pretty. The only thing that I wish was slightly different about these highlighters is I wish that the lids would snap onto the other end like some highlighters do. That way you don't have to have the lid separate, like when you're working with a color. You can have the lid kind of safely put on the other end until you're ready to recap it. And that's just a minor thing, and it probably wouldn't bother most people. I do understand like why it's not that way because of the design, and it is really sleek and really easy to hold. I also like that it comes in a box that is not something you would traditionally throw away. I mean, you absolutely could discard it if you didn't need to use it, but it does make organizing and viewing the colors a lot easier to have like a really sturdy, nice box. And the lid kind of nicely folds up and like tucks behind the colors, so you can have it open and view everything without that flappy bit constantly getting in the way. And I said this in the other video as well. I feel like sometimes too, you can have a color that looks really dark, like the packaging looks pretty dark, but it actually comes out kind of light. And then some that are actually in lighter packaging that are much more pigmented than you thought. But I will say most of these colors are really true to packaging. There's a handful that really did kind of surprise me. And you'll notice here with these darker colors, you see a little more bleed through, but it's not a lot. And you know that Bible paper is really thin, so I'm really impressed with this. I had initially planned to include the Bible paper test in my swatch review video initially, but once I got to doing it, I really couldn't decide while I was filming it which Bible I was going to use, because though Bible paper typically is like really thin, there's a lot of variation in that. Some of them are going to be thicker, some of them are going to be very thin. And I really wanted to kind of take my time to decide which Bible I was going to do this in since it's permanent. And I wanted to pick a Bible that had some pretty average Bible paper. And I feel like the She Roots Truth definitely is a really common Bible and kind of has like an average paper to it. And you'll see here as I'm getting further into the box toward the darker colors, I tried to intentionally start with the lighter colors and kind of work my way into the gradient of like darker colors. These darker shades do bleed through a little more, but it's definitely nothing compared to some highlighters that I've used. But when I flip this page over, you'll see that there is a little bit more bleed through than the lighter colors, but that's to be expected. I really do love all these colors, and I'm really looking forward to using them more in my Bible. So that was all 40 colors of this pack swatched on Bible paper. I'll link in the description box the previous review swatch that I did, just showing you each of the individual colors and like both of the sides, the chisel tip and the fine tip. But I thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.